Hey Kansas City, this is Petty Murphy here from the Petty Murphy Project, letting you guys know that the event to kick off the summer is going down, and it's going down in a major way as we raise money and awareness for mental health, everybody, when Most Hated Productions presents Suit and Tie Shit, Saturday, May 28th, live at the Pavilion at iWorks in North Kansas City. You'll have performances from Till the Death Records, Billions, King Ja, PDG, Divinely Paradox, Bay, Kansas City's own Satilla STS, Gnosis, Live Fast, Live Forever, The Phenomenal Jet, Sick and Twisted, and much more. Hosted by, well, you already know, the one and only Petty Murphy, myself, everybody, with DJ Three Fingers and Frostbite on the ones and twos, and a special guest speaker, Mr. Jason Platter, coming from Wichita, Kansas, to speak about mental health, everybody. Tickets are on sale on eventbrite.com, or contact the performers or myself and get your tickets now. You don't want to miss this event, as we're coming together to raise awareness for a cause that is not being spoken about, everybody. So get your suits, get your ties, ladies get your dresses, the whole 9 yards. It's about to go down Saturday, May 28th, live at the Pavilion at iWorks. Most Hated Productions presents Suit and Tie Shit. I'm Petty Murphy, and I approve this message.
It is Sunday, March 20th, 2022, and this is the Petty Murphy Project live on StreamYard and on Petty Murphy TV on YouTube. And my special guests today will be DJ Steady and Dutchess from the Who They Want podcast. Let's go. And welcome back to the Petty Murphy Project. I am your host, Petty Murphy. And as I stated, we got our guest today would be DJ Steady and Dutchess from the Who They Want podcast all the way in Tallahassee, Florida. DJ Steady, welcome to the Petty Murphy Project, brother. How are you doing?
I'm great, bro. It's an honor being on the show. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem, no problem. It was a pleasure, though, speaking with you and setting this up with you. How's everything down in Florida?
Everything is bright and sunshiny today. Just kicking it back and getting ready to enjoy some Sunday grub in a little while and just enjoying life.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm just basically enjoying this nice Kansas weather. Yeah, it's gonna change real soon too. You blink twice, it'll snow. If you if you blink three times, Kanye done something. So no, you got your podcast, the Who They Want podcast.
Of course,
I've listened to you guys' show. I checked you guys' show out. I love your guys' show.
I appreciate
Can
it.
you guys tell it? Can you tell everybody where you guys are located and where you guys do your show?
Well, of course, I'm stationed out in Tallahassee, Florida, and my co-host, the Dutchess, she's stationed out from New York, and then we have Kyle, who's from Connecticut, that rocks with us on the same time.
Okay, so y'all pretty much got the upper East Coast down to the southern part of the East Coast
Yes,
down,
sir.
locked down into. And how did you guys link up with each other to basically come up with this very hot podcast that helps out not only get the musical artists, but brings on personalities like myself?
Well, that was my genius part of creating the network, along with my partner Jay Caddick. Me and him was just sitting one day and was like, "I think we should do, a podcast show." And for a minute, I kind of laughed it off, like, "Yeah, right. Two guys in Tallahassee for a podcast. Nobody take that serious." Till one day,
Right.
I made a few blog posts on social media, and one lady, an adoring fan, actually sent me funds to get my studio together. So once she sent me a couple of bucks, I went and purchased my first mic, and I launched it from there. And here I am, 7 seasons strong, and still doing my thing with over 200 episodes of just straight grinding and networking.
That's what's up. That is what's up. And that's the same way how the Petty Murphy Project pretty much came up that way also too. I'm approaching 300 episodes, so season seven's getting ready to end. So that's going to end next week, and it's a grind out there. And what do you have to tell people that are in these lanes like we're in, doing podcasts and everything else too, that want to start a podcast?
And the only thing I can say is just do it. Don't just keep, patronizing yourself about it. If you have the idea, get your microphone, get your equipment set up, and just dive straight in. Don't worry about what the critics gonna say, because you can't know if you're doing something right if the haters can't say something negative about you.
Facts. Facts. Now, not only do you do a podcast also too, but you do some DJing work also too. How long have you been a DJ?
Well, I've been doing that work before the podcast world took over. I say a little over 6 to 7 years I've had invested with it. I've done catered weddings, I've did birthday parties, little family events, things like that. I used to be the biggest, mix CD maker in my city. So it just came a long way, and I just felt like it's me. Like, why would I, demoralize my standards or who I am in this realm by just trying to create some whole new alter ego?
Facts. That's the same way with me. Comedy 13 years. But I had a media background, going to school for journalism and everything else too. So I basically kind of like went full circle. You go to school for journalism, you get the degree, then
Right.
you fall into comedy, and you promote, do all of this through the grind, and you fall back into the media. Now, one thing that we do have in common is that we do, we promote events.
Right.
Are you know with the grind on the promoting on the events? I know you probably deal with a lot of underground artists also too. I deal with a lot of them too.
Absolutely.
What obstacles have dealt with the underground artists that you have met and basically have come your way looking for opportunity?
Well, the only obstacles so far has kind of been booking issues at time periods of trying to make sure everybody's been on the right schedule. Like I said, with having Dutchess as a co-host and helping me, do the podcast realm as well. She has her own social media platform known as
Hmm.
Everything Entertainment Echo, which we use for, what it says, everything entertainment. So we reach out to local artists, our artists. We've even went as far as get artists across the globe, and we put them on our network. So it's just a matter of reaching out to artists that we think are really talented, really dope, and we give them a chance to shine.
Right, and no, what we do, because I also promote shows and everything else too. Do you get a lot of artists that basically looking for the opportunity, but they don't basically promote what you're trying to build?
Yes, we do. We have dealt with that because they were up in comments and they're afraid to get their feet wet. So we kind of open that door and give them a little, hey, you can do it. Let's put the flashlight on you and let the world know that you're ready to eat. You're hungry for it. And we just keep pushing the motion.
Right, right, and I do that too. Um, Do you get a lot of artists that basically you give the opportunity to, but they don't promote
No,
what
I
you're
haven't had,
building?
no, I haven't had those issues. One thing I would say with the artists we trusted in, they've done a lot of promotionary work, even if they're micro so in the world of social media platforms. But their
Hmm.
fans have reached out and have supported, especially through the use of YouTube, Twitter, and everything entertainment.
Right, right, and do you and is networking the number one key for artists to basically get their names out there?
Absolutely, that's the key goal. Yes.
Because I've seen a lot, and I see a lot of talented artists that are basically talented enough, but they don't know how to network. I try to tell them, hey, when someone puts you on an event, whether we got 24 hours in a day,
Right.
at least post once to twice a
Absolutely.
day, and that basically gets the awareness out there. Majority of artists that I have dealt with are basically, oh, I'm gonna wait till the last minute, the week of, or 24 hours there. I don't like to like deal with those type of artists. Have you met with some of those type of artists that basically wait until the last minute, basically haven't promoted anything, and then they just basically just go at it the last week, and then they wonder why they probably don't even bring like no more than three people with them.
Yeah, I've done that. We done that with what we do on Artistry Tuesday. We had a segment one Tuesday set up for an artist that was last minute, and we didn't know nothing about this particular artist, but they was just
Hmm.
expecting us to just grab these guys and just put them on an interview spot. And me and my partners was like, no, we're not going to just do that because we got to at least know what we're working with. We like to claim ourselves as professionalism as well in our work. So
Hmm.
it's unfair to just get some random artist with a minimum of 8 hour notification to go. You're gonna put my artist on your tonight segment, and I don't know who they are, don't know nothing about the music, and they wasn't even Googleable. So then I felt like, nah, this I don't know who they think we was dealing with. Like we don't play around. We actually do our thing when it comes to podcasts.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. One thing that I like to do on my podcast, and I tell artists this also too, which I'm going to post right here. If you're an artist, you're a comedian, a poet, you want to get heard, you want to get an interview, submit me your audio drop, MP3 or WAV file to the Petty Murphy Project at gmail.com. Now, I get a lot of artist submissions with their music. Hey, let me listen to your music. And, this is one of my requirements right there. But when they send me the music, they don't send me an audio drop. Do you have your artists that want to get their music heard submit an audio drop for the Who They Want podcast? And can you tell artists why it's very important to have an audio drop to match their music so people know, match the music so people know?
Yeah, it's important because with word of mouth itself, it's already a struggle, especially when you're coming out of a small city or area that only just that fan base know of. So when you stepping into using mainstream platforms to promote your music, it's very important because how we're gonna know if you're hot or not if you're not sharing your music stream. So yes, it's highly important if you're trying to make it in the industry.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And my affiliates, I have affiliates down in Oklahoma.
Uh huh.
They basically told me that you got to have these artists send an audio drop in, and it's for one of those key reasons that you just stated. Because when you go on FM radios or AM radios or satellite radios, it's required that you
Absolutely.
submit an audio. It's very required, and I think a lot of artists don't know how to um, create an audio drop. Can you tell artists what they can do to create that audio drop?
I mean, however you choose to use your studio time is what you should use it for. If you don't invest no more than 30 minutes to an hour into creating your audio drop, it's nothing to it. And with the way technology is advancing, I've had artists who say it's just as simple as now and having a studio on your phone or mobile devices. You can just pull it out your pocket, yeah, do your little drop and then email it to whoever you want to send it to. So my advice, if you're gonna do it, just make sure you're in an area where people can really clearly hear you and this is what you're passionate about, and we can feel it through the use of your audio drop.
There it is. There it is, people. I know my affiliates at Chop on the Radio in Oklahoma have said that. I have said it. I put it out on social media. They have put it on social media. You're hearing from a man who has pretty much worldwide knowledge. No, people know who they want podcasts is. They're all over. I mean, you got from Florida, Connecticut, and New York. They're worldwide known, and he's telling y'all the same things that I've been saying. Because I'm worldwide known. You gotta get that music. You want to get that music heard? Cool. You want to get heard. You want to get your music heard out there. But how are the people going to be able to find you? You got to submit that audio drop. You got to.
Absolutely.
Now, with you being in the game for so long, is there any big name artists that you have met, and is any like people that's giving you inspiration to keep doing what you're doing?
Yes, of course. There's three I definitely want to shout out, and that's Dr. Garfield Bright of the famous R&B group Sky, and we've also had Father MC, and of course, one of my personal favorite was the comedian known as Red Grant. He has been on the podcast.
Oh, Red Grant is a fool. He is a fool. I first time I saw Red Grant was on Cat Williams' American Hustle.
Yeah, man, and he's running for DC mayor. So hopefully this November we'll see him run for his city and take over as the mayor. And he gave so much wisdom. He even told us that we inspired him, which kind of touched me to hear somebody you idolized growing up and look at you and say you're an inspiration to them. Kind of made me look at life in a different aspect.
That is true. And when you have people that are in that limelight and they tell you that, it's because they've been in the position that you're in now. You're trying to get where they're at. And when they
Right.
see people like us doing what we do and doing what we love, it gives them more inspiration to go out there and spread love. And
Yes, of course.
especially in this entertainment industry where it's hard to break in. And
Right.
you'll get a lot you'll get a lot of love, but you get a lot of hate. And me personally, I've seen it. I've seen where people are rising stars in the game, where people will hate on that, and yet it be the same people that are in your city, and it's sad. And I would know for your experience, have you met people that basically you came up with through the dirt with, grew up with, see your success, and then try to hate on you and to bring you down? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've actually experienced a couple of those situations because first thing you would want to do when you create something is put your city on. And I've reached out to quite a few folks, and this is no shade or disrespect, but some people kind of feel like you're beneath them or you're not worth being on that platform with them in order for them to contribute. But how else do you expect to grow if we both coming from the same city, coming out the same mud pen? If I'm trying to, reach my hand out and say, hey, bro, I recognize your talent. I recognize you as an artist, an entrepreneur, whatever you deciding to be with your career. Hey, I am creating a syndication for all of us to eat and win, and you want to try me. So hey, I got love for everybody, but at the same time, I know now I only fool with those who fool with me.
That same way with me. Same way with me. If you rock with me, I'ma rock with you. If you basically, oh, I'm just only in it. No, I got this platform here, but you're not trying to know. I'm not really trying to plug you in. I'm just basically trying to get in where I fit in, and then once I get it, I'm done. Then hey, you gotta go. You for the streets. You for the streets. You need to
Right.
go. And one thing that I have found kind of difficult, especially is in my inner circle, especially with musical artists. Now everyone's like, well, you have rappers on your with no comedy and stuff too. And someone asked me, why do you have a lot of rappers? Why do you have rappers on your show? Number one, they got weed. Number two, they got guns, just in case something pops up. But on the other hand, we don't want no violence whatsoever. But what I have found is that comedy and music people like.
Yeah.
People like to laugh. People like to hear good music. So bringing together, I had a friend of mine tell me, "Oh, comedy and music don't mix together." I tried doing it and it didn't work. Well, maybe it's because the formula you tried to do it, and with the place you tried to do it, didn't work. Have
Exactly.
you? I have basically found a formula. I want the ones that are hungry. I want the ones that will go out there and network. You just can't put all your friends on, because if you put all your friends on and you try to create a vibe, it's just gonna be you and your friends.
Right.
So do you think that people need to basically just not know? Because I've seen this a lot too. That these shows in the area, in the cities, whatsoever, it's majority their team, not giving everybody opportunity. Do you think that if you create a vibe, create an industry, and create a network, do you think that everybody should get a rotation, not popular consensus? Because I think popular
Yeah.
consensus clicks are the ones that are ruining the people trying to come up because
Uh-huh.
they kind of feel like oh they're trying to basically take my shine. Do you think that's the big problem in the
I
underground
do
scene?
think so. I do think so because you're putting yourself in this box where you're not really seeing potential room to grow if you're in this one solid block. Like you gotta look at you brought it up in the music realm. A lot of people fail to realize Eddie Murphy both ways from comedians got into the music world, and he was actually a really dope artist in the music realm, has a love and passion
Yes.
for music, and hung out with Michael Jackson and Prince and those cats. So especially want to expand your horizon. Like I love expanding and allowing everybody. That's who they want represent. They're just looking at those who wasn't feeling like they need that limelight, that spotlight. I can have anybody. I may see who they want. But like I see these people, trying to bust freestyles or trying to work with something like, hey man, you should be on who they want because you got what the potential needs to be something that everybody needs to be on this stage, not just people in your city, but the world.
Definitely, definitely, and that's how I am too. If I create the opportunity, that means hey, there's something in it for you. You got to basically walk through those doors. And I know there's a lot of artists that feel like, oh, I put this grind in whatsoever, and they probably haven't done it for like a year or whatsoever, but they kind of feel like they can basically take advantage of the opportunity, and they feel like they got to get paid. What do you have to tell the artist that basically only done like 1 to 3 shows and feel like they got to get paid to do a show?
Take your time and just ride the wave. Don't expect a big paycheck right as you first come out. Nothing worth having comes easy. You got to put the work, the time, and the dedication in. And that's coming from me personally because I thought, hey man, I did my first 50th episode. Now what a check at. You gotta wait,
Right.
you gotta be passionate, and you just have to have patience and definitely have some faith. Faith plays a big key in what you want in life.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. And hey, I'm at 200 and what, 82 episodes of the Petty Murphy Project. I'm
Congratulations on
still, thank you. I'm grinding. I'm grinding. It's the same way how I've grinded 13 years and just doing entertainment and comedy. Everybody, nobody got successful overnight.
that. Right.
Unless you somehow are in Kentucky somewhere and you buy a lotto ticket and you win,
Right.
somewhere, you win. But other than that, man, it's a grind. It's a
Absolutely.
never ending grind. And for those who are entrepreneurs, thinkers, and dreamers, you're not going to get any sleep. Now, let me ask you this: with building your network, building your brand, is it a 24/7 grind for you?
Yes, no sleep. Like my insomnia has been through the roof lately. I'm constantly thinking of people to book, reaching out, networking, dreaming about it. Like it's no sleep. Always reaching out to my fellow co-hosts and partners. Like, hey, I got this vision for the next move, the next idea, and yeah, I'm just constantly trying to grind. And sometimes I just reach my limits where you know what, I just need time off. And once I take that time period off, I come back stronger and better than before.
Definitely, I do the same thing. Once I reach my 50th episode of a season, hey, I'm on break for at least a week and a half, maybe
Right.
two. That basically gets my mind recharged and basically come up with more ideas to basically how to basically build my brand. I basically right now as we speak, I don't know if it's over with, started this morning. I have basically took the Petty Murphy project and put it on the Red Circle podcast platform. So I'm waiting
Okay.
for all the episodes to upload and everything else too, with the music, audio, and everything else too on that part. So people that want to get into this realm, I've gone to all the podcast networks on Facebook and stuff too. They ask a lot of questions, especially starting out, and I read these questions and I'm like seeing all of this. I'm seeing the growth in podcasting, and
Mm.
I think basically with the pandemic, with me, the Penny Murphy Project was in my back pocket. This was in 2019. My affiliates down in Muskogee, Oklahoma, Chop On It Radio, said, "Hey, we've been talking because I've been going on there. I was going on their show, talking that knowledge that we're talking right now. It's like you need to have your own show." And I had to
Right.
think about it. I have a journalism degree, and I tried to pull it off in 2019, couldn't do it. So I said, I'll keep this in my back pocket just in case. Months later, boom, coronavirus came in. Everything shut down. I'm figuring out, okay, I have shows that I had lined up, and I can't do these shows because we're under no on these guidelines and stuff too. And I was like, what can I do to entertain the people? Wait a second, I have a podcast idea in my back pocket, and
Exactly.
boom, there it is. And I'm blessed that this bad boy is almost 2 years old, and I've already done all of this and being on multiple platforms, and I did this less than 24 months
I know what you
in a
mean.
pandemic.
I know
In a
exactly.
pandemic.
I'm the same way
So
right there with you.
yeah, so with the pandemic, how hard was it for you to basically keep that positive mindset, keep the creativity flowing to do what you do, and that's entertain the people?
To be honest, as an introvert myself, it was a piece of cake. It was nothing but reaching out. Like me, I love being on social media and I love blogging a lot. So when I got into the podcast realm, it was me turning what I would normally post about with words, with just using my voice. And then I
Mm-hmm.
created this group and I would post in these groups and be like, hey, I got this podcast, not for nothing, just seeing who would take the bait. And when people started responding and plugging back in, and I reached out to people like Kyle and aka the Dutchess, and then we just formed this group. And I still come back and work with. I got this like David Ruffin law where there's no person bigger than
Mm-hmm.
the podcast. So I would love new and old people to network all the time. So I'm never getting rid of people on this show. I work with
Right.
anybody as that can fill that void. Because I love the way I work it is whatever niche. Like I like to call myself the all-purpose niche. So whatever conversation
Mm-hmm.
reach out to certain co-hosts, I'll send them a text message like, "Man, tonight's show, I feel like you'd be more strong suited than even I may be to, give this conversation what it needs without having any air bubbles." So it's all about
Right.
me networking and keeping people in the loop of this is definitely for you. So I'm the CEO and I'm the head, but a lot of times I just like to sit in the passenger side and let somebody else drive the ship.
Right. And that was the same way with me. I started off with two people. They kind of fell off and everything else too. And people was like, "Well, your two former co-hosts left you. What are you going to do with the podcast? Keep it going." And
That's
what
all.
kept it going, what kept it going is especially what happened with George Floyd, seeing our country basically riot and everything else too. I actually had to sit and watch that on television.
Right.
Here in Kansas City, I had to see friends, protest in Kansas City and go through, what the things they did with the police and the riot and everything else. So I had to sit there and watch. So I had to be the voice to basically report what I'm seeing from my point of view. And I wish my former co-host good luck, but basically after that, I just said, you know what, this is my baby. I'm
There
gonna
you
make, I'm gonna make this pop. And basically now to do interviews with you and others, that I've talked to across the country and in different aspects, with me is that, I love my entertainment. I do. But I also
exactly.
gotta talk to regular people, I gotta talk to like authors, I gotta talk to actors, I gotta talk to the people. And that's the same thing that you guys are doing. It's like, hey, it's all entertainment at the end of the day, but we
Yeah.
also got to talk to regular people too. We got to keep it real. And I think that's the thing is with this industry, and I've noticed, especially in the rap game, that it saddened me is that, the music game, the music, period, there's no there's no substance from the music that we grew up listening to. It's all the same thing, especially in the rap game. Oh, I'm gonna kill this AK-47. I'm getting bands. Your baby mama on my lap. Whatever that type of music.
Yeah.
What happened to music that we? What happened to the music? Did
No, the
BET?
storytelling
Did
died.
Did BET kill that? I just want to know.
I just feel like lyricism has slowly been rejected because of this nuance wave of ABC 1, 2, 3, and the beat is jumping. We said it on multiple artists Tuesday, how we express how we feel like now it's not about lyricism, it's about a catchy beat and what rhyme you can match to that one little line of catchy beat with, and your lyricism is gone.
Right, and I think one genre that really took a big hit is R&B, and
Absolutely.
I and R&B took a very big hit, and it's like you don't have that. The last R&B singer to actually put his hands out and reach out to you like he's reach out your soul was Carl Thomas and Emotional. But R&B music's dead, man. I grew up listening to New Edition. I grew up listening to Boyz II Men. I grew up listening to Shy. I grew up listening to Montel Jordan and those type of things. But I kind of
Right.
think that once everything crossed over and like in the 2000s, you see R&B singers on rap songs and everything else too. I think that pretty much killed it. I mean, the last great group out of the 2000s R&B group was pretty much Drew Hill. And they had like different members. They're like Destiny's Child, like
Right.
who's this guy?
Right.
Who's this guy? It's like okay, but R&B has died. You think that R&B, if it ever comes back, what will it take for R&B to come back?
What would it take is sticking back to the basics, paying homage to those who's opened the door for that realm, and following their formula. Everybody wants to crown themselves kings off of one hot song, and I don't think that that should be the title for grab like that. Like you just spoke, we come from the era where R. Kelly, even though we can't talk about him now, but Keith Sweat and all these
Actually,
people are
yeah, actually, yes, we can talk about R. Kelly because R. Kelly made good music. I don't care what
fat,
nobody says.
big fat,
Everybody would say, "Oh, he's this and that," but guess what? We all knew for 30 plus years. Could you tell by the song? Think about your body's calling, down low, half on a baby. Did you ever think? Feeling
right?
on your booty, ignition. I mean, did you not see the warning signs? Did you not see the warning signs? I mean, there's subliminal messaging. Like think about it, but R. Kelly's a great, but what I think about how entertainment was before we were born and how entertainment is, and the one person that everybody needs to pay homage to, I know he didn't do it. OJ did it, but I know Michael Jackson didn't do what they said he did. Michael
Yeah,
Jackson changed. Michael Jackson changed entertainment, and all
for
he
the
had to do was
world.
put out for the world, and all he had to do was put out one album,
That's it.
Thriller. Rest is history.
Still
If it wasn't for
untouchable
Michael,
to this day.
still untouchable. And if it wasn't for Michael Jackson, MTV wouldn't be MTV. I think that's what the era we grew up on is what I miss the most. Is that you can when you basically sit at home, you can sit and watch MTV and it's just playing music videos. You can go
Exactly.
to BET and they're playing music videos. Now it's reality television
That's
and
the new
Tyler
way.
Perry movies. And
Yep.
Tyler Perry movies. It's like
Where
what
where's the
happened?
culture gone? We've been put in a culture shock, and now we got critical music theory instead of critical race theory. It's critical music theory because they're trying to abolish the great artists that laid down the ground for us to have great entertainment today.
Exactly. With R. Kelly, okay, yeah, okay, but y'all knew it for 30 years. Now, Jussie Smollett, I don't know how Jussie Smollett basically get a 5 month sentence and get out in 7 days. How does that happen? I mean, he basically put it like this. We found out he lied. We found out he lied on the last day of Black History Month. So I don't celebrate Black History Month in February because he lied. Okay, that basically sent us that 10. We were almost there, and then he found out he lied. I was like, see, we will never black people will never prosper because Jesse lied, and I knew he was lying. I was like, first of all, who the hell goes out in Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning? And number two, what Subway sandwich store is open at 2 o'clock in the morning? It's at Vegas. But I don't know no Subway that is open up at 2 o'clock in the morning, especially in Chicago. I don't know. Only thing I know that's open in Chicago is 7-Eleven. And when you go to 7-Eleven, you gotta ring the doorbell at figured it out last year. I went to Chicago last year, and across from Wrigley Field, I went to a 7-Eleven, and instead of opening the door, you gotta ring the doorbell. It's like
Wow.
it's like really that's what they do here. That's what they do here. But really, on the real though, DJ Steady, before we get out of here, can you tell people where they can find the Who They Want podcast, give out your social media and everything else too? And yes, we're going to definitely do a show together. I got to make my way down to Tallahassee. I want to come on to the Who They Want podcast with everybody, New York, Connecticut. No, shout out to you co-host. I want to come on there. I'm trying to get to Tallahassee, Florida. I'm trying to get to Tallahassee this year. I'm already going to Miami April the 9th
Right.
on another show down there. So going down there for another event down there. But I'm trying to get down to Florida and link in with you guys also too. So can you tell people where they can find the Who They Want podcast, all your social medias and everything else, and your next upcoming episode?
Of course, you can follow us on Who They Want Entertainment LLC on Facebook. YouTube is Who They Want Podcast. It's available on all streaming platforms such as Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. Twitter is Who They Want Podcast channel. Um, Instagram is DJ Steady of Who They Want Podcast. You know what I'm saying? And you can also catch us out on Everything Entertainment Expo. You know, download that app and you can be caught up with the Who They Want podcast too as well. Shout out to Kyle E. Shout out to Lady Tasha, aka the Dutchess. You know, we still holding it down for the entertainment.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, I will be out of Facebook jail tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened before we get out of here.
Let's do it.
So I go to TikTok, which you guys can follow me on TikTok at the
Okay.
Petty Murphy Project. Right there, you guys can follow me on TikTok. So I go to TikTok and I find someone had a clip of Kevin Hart, and so I shared it so I could put it in my Facebook Reels because
Yeah.
I'm really making money off of that. Somebody reported the video as intellectual property to Facebook. So I appealed. Of course, I'm light skinned, so I don't have Johnny Cochran to basically get me out. But the 3 days ban, that's normal from the 30-day bans they were giving me. 3 days. It's like, what did I mean? So I can't comment on my Facebook Messenger. I can't comment on Facebook, period. So pretty much 3 days ain't nothing. Now trying to do 30 days, that's a different story. But put it like this. I've done more 30-day bids on Facebook jail than Jussie Smollett did in prison in 5 days. That's all I have to say.
Big fact,
And when I
man.
get out, when I get out on Monday, I got out on appeal. I didn't get out because I cried like a little bitch. I didn't do that. I didn't do all of that. Yeah, I didn't do all of that. But
Yeah.
on the real though, DJ Steady, man, thank you for coming out to the Petty Murphy Project, man. Anybody, follow the Petty Murphy Project at facebook.com/the Petty Murphy Project. Follow on Instagram, which I'm following you on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at the Petty Murphy Project, on TikTok at the Petty Murphy Project. Artists, comedians, poets. Like I said, you want to get heard. You want an interview. Submit me an audio drop. Submit me an interview request and your downloadable MP3 or WAV file to the Petty Murphy Project at gmail.com. I got some tracks for you from artists that I'm going to send to you also too. I want you
Okay.
to check those out too.
Will do.
And let me and check them out, and they'll give you your social media handles. I got your email and everything, so I'm gonna send you some of those tracks also too.
I
Don't
will.
forget, and I'm gonna plug you in. I'm definitely gonna plug you in with my affiliates, the Famo Nation on Chop On It Radio.
All right.
Tap in with the Mister Jag the Official, YL Dallas, Night Train the Brand. Get you some of that jerking. Call in at 319-527-6057. Send them an email at choponiradio at gmail.com, or you can listen to the shows on choponiradio.com and on Facebook also too. May 28th, everybody. This is the big one. May 28th, Most Hated Productions presents Suit and Tie Shit. Saturday, May 28th, live from the Pavilion at iWorks in Kansas City. Tickets are available at $10 on Eventbrite.com, or you can contact myself with the performers to get your tickets also too, as we are raising money in awareness and support of mental health, everybody. Also too, check out my website at thepettymurphyproject.com. So for DJ Steady, And everybody watching on StreamYard and on Petty Murphy TV on YouTube. I'm Petty Murphy. Oh, wait a second, I forgot. Check out the Sunday Groove on the Petty Murphy Project. That will be at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And also, too, the Body and Soul edition of the Petty Murphy Project is going to be debuting on the Petty Murphy Project. You can find it on all platforms: Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, iHeart, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you type in the Petty Murphy, and now Red Circle, when you type in the Petty Murphy Project, get you some of that music also, too. So, for DJ Steady and everybody watching on StreamYard and YouTube, I'm Petty Murphy. Stay out of dark alleys, everybody. I'll see y'all later on the Sunday Groove, everybody. DJ Steady, I'm gonna holler at you, my guy.
All right, bro.
Y'all be easy. Get you some of that Sunday grubbing. So when I come to your area, I'm gonna have to try some of that Sunday grubbing. I heard some good things about Florida, so I'm gonna have to go try that food out. All right, everybody, y'all take it easy. Have a good evening.